Goodness me. That was just awesome. That was awesome. I mean, I knew it would be, but still, it just blows me away every time. Hello. Welcome to my channel. My name's Claire. I'm a flute player from Hull in East Yorkshire in the UK. And it's time for another reaction from me. But just before we do that, in case you don't know, well, every Sunday I do a live stream. I do a live stream show where we enjoy 2 hours of live music, friendly chat and fascinating facts. And we have such a wonderful community that comes every week and enjoys the music, enjoys the chat. And I'd like to invite you along. So if you're interested in that, then do check out the details on my channel page. So back to today, and we are reacting to... Yes, it's none other than the fabulous Jethro Tull. And Jethro Tull, of course, not new to me at all. I'm a massive fan of Ian Anderson and all his work. You'll find a few reactions already on my channel and a few covers as well of his wonderful music. But I can't resist doing another one. So this track is My Sunday Feeling, and it was recorded live at the Isle of Wight Festival in 1970. Now, I'm sure you're aware if you're a fan, but My Sunday Feeling was the first track on the debut album from Jethro Tull, which was called This Was, and it was released in 1968. I should just say I'm not as familiar with This Was as I am with most of the Jethro Tull catalogue. So this is really interesting for me, and I think it's always really interesting to see the very beginning of Jethro Tull, because many people believe that that was kind of the height of their output, I suppose, for want of a better word. But it's something, of course, that I didn't experience first time round, and I'm keen to learn from. But just before we get to it, let's have a few facts about the festival itself, because I discovered this and thought this was very interesting. So the Isle of Wight Festival took place in 1970, was held between 26th and the 30th of August on an area in the western side of the Isle of Wight. It was the last of 3 consecutive festivals to take place on the island between 68 and 70, and is often acknowledged as the largest musical event of its time, with a larger attendance than Woodstock. Wowee, I wasn't aware of that. It goes on to say, although estimates vary, the Guinness World Records say that between 600,000 and 700,000 people attended. Ooh, that's a big crowd. That's a big crowd. Now, of course, we have the wonderful Tull on the bill, but other artists there included Jimi Hendrix, the Moody Blues, Chicago, and I should say I've got reactions to both the Moody Blues and Chicago on my channel, so you're welcome to enjoy those. And also Miles Davis and Joni Mitchell were there as well. So, wowee, I mean, that was the place to be in 1970, wasn't it? But alas, I wasn't there, but by the wonder of modern technology, we can enjoy this live performance now from the fabulous Jethro Tull. So here we go.
Magic finger. Here we go. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. My Sunday feeling is coming on over me. My Sunday feeling is The magic finger.
Oh, goodness me! That was just awesome. That was awesome. I mean, I knew it would be, but still, yeah, it just blows me away every time. Every time I watch a live performance of his. It's just incredible. Oh, I've got so many things I want to talk about, but the first one is just the sound, the pure rawness of the sound. It's so just raw and just, but so refined at the same time, and that's what's magical. It's just so magical. Just awesome stuff, right down from his opening kind of magic finger hand thing, which is so Ian Anderson, to just the drops and how tight it is, and every single note and every single word is just so well placed. Before I go back to talking a bit more about that, I just want to talk about the crowd, because I don't know if you clocked, but obviously we've said it was a huge crowd and you can see it there. The moment when it all drops and we get the solo vocal on its own and then solo bass, you can hear a pin drop. You can literally hear a pin drop, and it's, I mean, I know that's partly down to the recording, but the audience are so captivated. And I'm not going to go off on a tangent on this, but I think nowadays that's often not always the case. And if you want my opinion on that, I think it's to do with the liveness of it and the rawness of it and the energy. And I'm afraid a lot of live performance now, whatever genre you're looking at, does not have that for lots and lots of reasons. And I'm not going to go into that because that's not what we're here for. But I just wanted to comment on that because if you've seen my reactions before, I like to look at the performance. That's why I like reacting to live recordings, because I like to talk about the performance aspects and the crowds and the energy and stuff. So that really grabbed me. I mean, it's I could talk about the music, but it's just the energy. That's what it is for me. Now, talking about the flute, great sound all the way through, and of course he's singing and playing all the way through that, which is, if you're not familiar, is where you play a note and you're literally vocalizing at the same time. He's doing that, and A, that's not easy, and B, he's switching between that and the singing so quickly in this song. In fact, I think of all their catalogue, this is the song where he's literally doing that very quick, going from singing, playing, and that takes a lot of control, because you've got to be very careful how you use your voice when you're singing and playing through the flute. You can't use too much voice, and yeah, it just takes a lot. So that's what's really impressing me about this. Now, the other thing I wanted to comment on was posture, because if you've seen my Chicago reaction, I comment on posture. Now, there are lots of comments on that reaction where I'm kind of criticised for lacing the posture a little bit, about commenting on the posture. Now, a recent comment said, if you find this difficult to watch, then what about Ian Anderson? Now, I thought I'd comment on that with today's reaction, because believe it or not, even though we have Ian Anderson here doing his acrobatics and standing on one leg and all the other stuff that he's known for, his posture is actually pretty good. It's pretty good, because when I'm looking at posture as a flute player, yeah, how you stand can make a difference, but actually it's the upper body and it's the shoulders and it's the neck particularly, because if your head is really far down, then I mean you can hear it when I talk, it's restricting my throat. And particularly when you sing and play, if you have this restriction, that's gonna cause a problem. So actually, even though it looks like he's really all over the place and he's really unstable, he is really carefully positioning himself when he plays so that he's not kind of like this and right over his shoulder, and not the shoulders are not too hunched, because that's what's a real problem with flute posture. His neck is a little bit to the left, and that's often a thing with flute players. I can be guilty of that as well, because of course the flute is like this and we tend to do this. So that would be, possibly even better. But his posture's pretty good. And how he does that, standing on one leg, I'm not quite sure. I've heard Ian Anderson briefly talk about this in interviews as well, where he said he is very conscious of the posture, which I know people won't get. So that's why I wanted to just talk about that a little bit. Because, yeah, I think for what he does, his posture is pretty awesome. And he manages to get that sound. And the proof is in the pudding, because he's, like I say, he's going from the singing to the playing, singing to playing, and it never skips a beat. And it's just awesome. So, there we are. There are my thoughts on that wonderful live performance from Tull from 1970. Thank you to whoever suggested that. I don't think you left your name or your handle on the suggestion. So thank you very much for sending that in. If you've got a track that features a flute and you'd like me to react to it, then check out the pinned comment below, and you're welcome to send it to me. And we'll get it on. I've got a big list of things to react to, but I'm always welcome to more. So do send that through. It's really interesting to get them. So there we are. Definitely a most Flutifull performance. Was that ever going to be in doubt? And just awesome to watch some Tull again. So until we meet again, folks, maybe on my live stream, if you want to come along to that, check out the details on the channel page. I hope you stay Flutifull. Take care. Bye for now.